Yo, what is up everybody? It is me, Bugsy Boodles, back again with another video. Another video podcast. We got more WNBA, baby, okay? We got the Minnesota Lynx visiting the Las Vegas Aces. Off the jump, I'm going to keep it a buck. Should be a blowout. Thought it was going to be a blowout from the jump. Thought it was going to be. Just because the Minnesota Lynx, they're still like a young up and coming team, kinda. They just hadn't been as like it's tough to say, but threatening as they used to be back in the day. And then the Aces are just a super team. And I just didn't think they stood a chance. And they didn't really this game. Well, they kind of did, but it was again from the jump. You see Minnesota Lynx versus Las Vegas Aces. I'm assuming the Aces are going to win the game. But yeah, should be about no shot that the Lynx were. I thought the Lynx had no shot in winning this game, but it will be interesting to see who from the Lynx will show up against a star-studded team. I thought that the matchup against Diamond Miller, the rookie for the Minnesota Lynx, would be very interesting. And while we're talking about Diamond Miller, why don't we just talk about the notable players and coaches from each team. Continuing with the Minnesota Lynx, like I said before, Diamond Miller is a young rookie out of Maryland. It looks really good. It's going to be a really good piece for the Minnesota Lynx. But they're obviously led by Nafisa Collier. They live and die by Nafisa Collier. Also important members of the team, you have Kayla McBride, Tiffany Mitchell, Jessica Shepard, and Ariel Powers on the team. Also, you have fun and also cool important players like Lindsay Allen, Rachel Banham, and Bridget Carlton. Also, the young rookie Dorka Juhas plays good minutes for the Lynx too. So, yeah, it's not like the Lynx don't have good players. They do. For some reason, I don't even understand it. Why they just for some reason can't put it together all under Cheryl Reeve, who's been coaching there for a long time. And again, they're going against a super team, the Las Vegas Aces, coached by Becky Hammond. The super team is built up by Jackie Young, Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum, Candace Parker, and honestly Chelsea Gray. Their starting five are all superstars. So, starting five are all superstars. Then off the bench, you got Alicia Clark and Kia Stokes leading the team off the bench there. And they have cool, important players too, like Kirsten Bell and Kayla George, Sydney Colson as well. And Raquana Williams is still out, but she does get a shout out later in this game, and I'll get to that later. But yeah, thought this game should be a blowout. It's a Commissioner Cup game, so there's going to be charity money given to some people at the end of the game. Caroline Peck and Krista Blunk are on the call. This is the 27th straight game in double digits scoring for Asia Wilson. It's the third longest streak in the W. Some matchups that I thought would be good: Diamond Miller versus Jackie Young, Nafisa Collier versus Candace Parker, and Tiffany Mitchell versus Kelsey Plum. I thought it would all be great matchups. The crowd is loud, as it always is, I feel like, for the Aces. And Lynx are still trying to figure out how to play without their Hall of Famer and star, face of the franchise, Sylvia Fowles. It's a new team, a new look for this team. So, I thought that Diamond Miller got a consistent three-point shot that I think she'll be deadly, honestly. She's already a great scorer, great player, great forward. I think she gets a consistent three-pointer. That'll add a whole nother element to her game. But speaking of the Lynx, Collier with all 5 points to start the game. Lynx live and die by her, like I said. Chelsea Gray in the first quarter starting out the game with 3 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists. She's just a triple-double. I honestly feel like she's a low-key walking triple-double. Cheryl Reeve is the national team coach this year, found out. Asia Wilson already in the first half was already in double figures. Actually, in the first quarter she got into double figures. Wilson is second behind Sylvia Fowles for double-doubles with 66 career double-doubles. The crowd gets a slice of Vegas pizza as Lindsay Allen for the Lynx missed both free throws. I don't go to that many sporting games, but I've never been to a game where they have like those incentives for like the opposing team to miss 2 free throws in a row. Then like everyone in the fans gets like fries or like I guess pizza in this case. Like, is that true? Is it free? Let me know in the comments if it's free. If they get that stuff, because that would be pretty cool, and I would like to go and experience one of those. But Yeah. Anyway, when the Aces play bad teams, there's not really much chance for the team, because there's just no way. There's the other team's just not winning. The Aces are just too good. The Aces and this game had 14 points off of turnovers at this point before halftime. I feel like Candace Parker and Jonquel Jones also for the super teams are struggling in their new homes for some reason. I know JJ was coming back from an injury. Not sure what Parker's deal is, but again, you got to get accustomed to the new playing styles, new teammates. It's still very early in the season, so makes sense. Commissioner Cup game leaders: Aces lead all the league in Commissioner Cup wins end up with a 3-0 record, and the next closest team is the Wings with a 1-0 record. And again, the Commissioner Cup, each player gets like a certain amount of money for the winning team. The MVP of the Commissioner Cup game gets another couple $1,000, $5,000, and then winning charities for each team get money too. So these Commissioner Cup games are important to take note of, and I'm going to start taking more note of them because it is something that's important and new. It's relatively new to the WNBA. But my halftime thoughts: double-digit lead for the Aces. Asia Wilson was feasting like she should. Lynx were out rebounding the Aces, and they were only down 10 at halftime. But I mean, I still didn't. So they were fighting, which was good, and I wanted to see, but I didn't see much chance still for the Lynx. Candace Parker is third all-time in rebounds with 3,389. And yeah, but when we started into the third quarter, the Lynx were really fighting. They really were. Also, they showed the rings. They showed the rings that the Aces won when they won the WNBA championship last year. There's 561 diamonds in the Aces rings. 561. That's crazy. I mean, I will take a ring, but can I pawn it off for some money, please? For real. I don't know, but speaking of diamonds, Diamond Miller has 8 points in the third quarter. Look at that transition. We're getting better at this, guys. I'm so new to all this. We getting better. Bear with me. But that transition was hot. Sorry, I had to shout it out. My first one. Okay, anyway. Jackie Young, 2 threes back to back. She's 4 of 8 from 3-point, and that leads to an 8-0 Aces run. It was funny. There was a moment where Becky Hammond and Floyd Mayweather, the boxer, were just talking courtside. I was just like random. I wonder what they were talking about. I thought that was interesting. Also in this game, Kia Stokes bumps heads with Jessica Shepard. A little collision there. Aces are so good. They're just so deep too, honestly. Clark off the bench was having a great game. Kia Stokes is a great rebounder. Aces are up 20 by the end of the third quarter, so now it's starting to get crazy. And from that bump between Kia Stokes and Jessica Shepard, we have another bump. She has another black eye, so this is the second bump on an eye of the year. I'm gonna have to start doing a hashtag bump count, okay? Because we had Stewie with the first bump that I've seen so far in the game, and now Kia Stokes has a bump and then a welt, if you will. So this is the second one. We're gonna have to do a bump count. Get that going. We are at 2 now in the bump count this season. Diamond Miller apparently blocked Candace Parker. I missed that play, but that's a sick play. She has 11 points in the third quarter alone. So, Diamond Miller is going to be a great player. I was trying to think of who's going to be Rookie of the Year, who I thought would be Rookie of the Year. I think it's going to be Aaliyah Boston still, but Diamond Miller could be a sneaky person if she continues to stay healthy and put numbers up like this. So, it's interesting to see. Rachel Banham has 2 3-pointers. I heard that she had a lethal 3-point shooter. She was a lethal 3-point shooter. I didn't know her game that well. That's my bad. Starting to see it with her 3-point shot. She's pretty nasty. And Raquana Williams, I mentioned earlier that I'd shout her out. She had some sick drip on. She had a drip chain on before. They showed a picture of her sitting on the sideline in street clothes. The chain looked cool, dripped out. But yeah, Aces are kind of doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be blowing out the bad teams. You're a super team. You're supposed to blow them out. That's what they did. Asia Wilson has 28th straight double-figure scoring game. So the record's still going on. She's still holding on to that streak. It was a balanced scoring effort for the Aces, but Aces, again, had a blowout win. Lynx fought more than I thought they were going to be honest. And let's get into the notable performances. Let's start with the losing team, the Minnesota Lynx. Diamond Miller finished with 14 points and filled the stat sheet up, getting 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, and a block. Got everything. 14 points, so a solid game for her. Nafisa Collier led the team with 21 points, 10 rebounds. That's what she's supposed to do. She's got to at least get 20, I think, for the Lynx to even stand a chance. Jessica Shepard only had 4 points, but had 15 rebounds and 7 assists. Like, this guy get more scoring up, but she's doing pretty much a lot of other stuff, so good for her. Tiffany Mitchell had a great game. Didn't talk about her much, but she had 16 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Great game for Tiffany Mitchell. Rachel Banham off the bench had 12 points. And Richard Carlton, my girl Richard Carlton, only had 2 points with 3 rebounds. And no Kayla McBride this game, was sitting out for personal reasons, I believe. And yeah, that's for the Lynx. So the Aces were led by Jackie Young, 23 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Great game for Jackie Young. She's just a problem, real problem, honestly. Asia Wilson also had 21 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, filled up the stat sheet. Candace Parker, like I said, slow start to the season. Only had 3 points, but had 8 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block. Hasn't been scoring so much yet. Kelsey Plum only with 11. Only with 11 because Kelsey Plum usually, I feel like, is getting around 15 points or so, but she did her thing. Chelsea Gray, 19 points, great game from Chelsea Gray. 5 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals, double-double for Chelsea Gray. Another great game for her. Alicia Clark off the bench had 11 points, great game. Key Stokes had 0 points but had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 blocks. Worth noting. And because of the blowout, everyone got some run this game. Kristen Bell had 3 points. Kayla George had 3 points. Sydney Colson didn't score any points, put any stats up, but she got some minutes because it was a blowout. So again, Lynx didn't really stand a chance in my eyes, but they put up a fight, so that was kind of fun to watch. And yeah, Aces were just kind of doing their thing, not surprised. So good game, another fun game to watch.